Hi folks, this is the activity that I've done in lab 1. It's a part that looks like so. Let's assume that these dimensions are in inches. There are many ways of doing these problems or any problem, and the one that I do, the approach that I take is not necessarily the best one or the most efficient one. So let's go ahead and start Catia. Now, by default, unless it's changed, the settings are changed, the product file is open. Now, we can create our parts within that product, but I suggest that for now, we're going to close this and start with the part file. So we can do a file, new, and select the part. And the name of the part, I'm going to call the activity 1, activity 1, let's say lab 1, lab 1, okay? So immediately the part is renamed like that. Now I'm going to save this thing right away. File, save management, save as. Let me go up, create a part folder, create a folder, and I will call it activity 1, lab 1. Okay, activity 1, lab 1. Let me say okay. So from now on, whatever we do is going to be in that folder, and the part name is going to be right there, as you can see. All right. Now, um, the way I'm going to do this part is by looking at it from this side. Okay, so let me make a shape like so, and then extrude it or pad it. So on the vertical plane, I will sketch something that resembles what I have in the drawing, and I'll put the dimensions in a minute. Let me move these things out of the way. Where's the sketch tool? There's the sketch tool. You can see that. Profile. Move this thing out here or up there. So basically, we have something like that. The only thing is that it's snapping to the grid point, and I don't want it. In order to prevent snapping to the grid point, you have to uncheck this. This, I believe, is snapping to a grid point. See that? Snap, snap to point. You don't want it. So it should be, you want to be able to go take it any way you want. I'm not going to make this thing a fully constrained sketch because these are very basic uh, papers or basic exercises for basic for novice users. So now we can give it dimensions that we want. Let me make sure that the units are in inches. Tools options. Uh, Under parameter and measure, in the general parameter and measure units tab, already you can see that the length is in inches. You can change it to other things, but inches is fine because I pretend that these are in inches. Let's dimension it. So the dimensioning Catia is this constraint icon. So let's do this from here to here. This one is 2. Now don't let it scare you because of the way I have done things. These were already so. These were let me actually do. Let me start dimensioning these so that you don't get confused. Let me start dimensioning these things. Okay. So this one, I know that that was scary what you saw, but we'll fix it. So this is going to be 1 inch. Okay, and the next one is going to be 2.5 inches. This is going to be 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches. Okay, and now that is it 2.5? I'm sorry, let me see. 0.5. So this was sorry. This was 0.5. 0.5. Yeah, and this thing, the whole height 2. Okay, so this is 2. This was 1. This is 0.5, and That's what you got. Exit. Oh, this height, this width. Let's do that. This one is 3, and don't let it scare you because we know something else. We know that, for example, let me move this thing, delete this. Okay, good. So first of all, let me move this thing here so that it's not as scary as you think it is. Okay, this is the normal view right there. Let's see now. This length is 1. So let's clean this up. This is 1, 1. Okay, anything else? The distance from here to there, the distance from here, this point, to there is 2.25. So I'm going to make a dimension from here to that line, 2.25. Basically, you have to look at your drawing and find out what is given, what is to be used, etc. So this gives you that sketch. Now we're going to extrude this or pad it. Computer does not have extrude. Does not call it extrude. It's called pad. Pad it by a distance, total distance of 2.25 inches. There we are. Okay, good. Now on this face, I will sketch. I'm going to do that rectangle that you see there. So I'm going to draw a rectangle like that. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle, and let's put some dimensions here. A couple of things, and that is, you see, I want to center, I want to make sure that this rectangle is completely centered, and I'm too lazy to basically work out the dimensions. So here's what I'm going to do. In this pad, let's exit that, In this pad, instead of 2.25, we make half of that, 1.125, but we go mirror extend. Mirror extend means go 1.125 to the left, 1.125 to the right, and do it. The advantage of doing it like that is that there is a symmetry. This actually is a plane of symmetry. So now that I go to the sketch, so what I can do is I can do the following. I can say this point, this line, control that line, control this axis. I can make it use the symmetric option. Okay, good. All right. So this is a very important icon here. This is called constraint using dialog boxes. Now notice that what I can do, I can resize this thing and still remain symmetric. So this height, this is a very useful tool. For a second. This height is 1.25. You can see 1.25, 1.25. Good. And I don't care what. Yeah, this height is 0.4. So the distance between this line and uh, the distance between this line and that line is no, not there. So cancel. The distance between this line and that line is, I'm told, is zero point 0.4. Excellent. Exit and pocket it. Pocket it in the proper direction with the right amount, and that's going to give you the top piece. Okay, very good. So on that face, I will sketch. That's that's right there on this face. Okay, normal views right there. Normal view. We're going to draw a circle. We're going to position it properly in just a minute. The radius of that circle is 0.25, I believe. So this is 0.25. 0.25 inches, and the location of it is that the radius. No, this is diameter. So you can change this thing from radius to diameter. uh, 0.25, radius is 0.25. There we are. And the location of it from this point to that line, you're told it is 0.5, I believe, 0.5, and the distance from this point to that line, okay, that seems to be 0.25, okay, 0.25, 0.25. I hope, oops, undo, Control Z, undo. So let me see now, the distance, let me check, you have to check this dimension. So this was 0.5, 0.75, that's what the issue is, 0.75, not 0.25. So I want to make sure that we're getting the right, that's from this line to the center is 0.75. So I don't think this is the right dimension. This was wrong here. Let me delete this. Where is the delete? Let's get rid of this. Select that, delete it, and the dimension was from this center to that, and that is 0.25, 0.75, 0.75. Yeah. Basically, you have to go back and forth between this drawing and that drawing. Looks reasonable, unless I missed something dramatic, but I think that's okay. Exit, and then you make a pocket all the way, all the way. This is dimension. You can do it all up to the next, up to the last, etc. It won't make a difference here. Okay, so there we are. So if I click on the floppy, now let me do a file save. Oh, I think I already did that. Oh, I already did file save management, I believe. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't think I have. I have not saved it. Save as. Yeah. Reset. Okay. And that's it. So this takes care of activity number 1. Number 2 is going to be done in a separate video. Good luck.